Welcome to the Trucking History Channel. I don't usually talk about car hauling trucking companies much, um, and there's no reason for it, but today I'm going to make an exception and I'm going to talk about them. Mainly because I found some information about the large piece of property nearby me that is where they take the cars off the railroad cars, put them in a lot, and then they load them on trucks to be delivered to the dealers. Now, these lots have gone under various names through the years. Those in the industry might call them railheads, marshaling lots, uh, truck loading terminals. I don't know what the proper name is, so I'll just call it uh, a loading lot because that's what they do. They load them on the trucks. But anyway, Winston-Salem, and more specifically the little town of Walkertown, right next to Winston-Salem, has a fairly large marshaling lot. These pictures show the aerial photographs of it. Now, if you go by the lot on US Highway 311 or some of the side streets, you won't see much because it's well hidden by trees and it's got a fence around most of the property. But in this video, we're going to talk about the car hauling companies that have operated out of the Winston-Salem area, who they hauled for, where they went, and give you some details about the problems that were incurred with having such a massive facility like this. There were actually two car loading facilities in Winston-Salem. The first one was, or the first two, was at near the airport on North Liberty Street. On both sides of Liberty Street, you'd find Motor Convoy and Anchor Motor Freight. Eventually, the bigger one was built on New Walkertown Road, or US Highway 311, between Winston-Salem and Walkertown. And that's the focus of today's video. I do have some pictures of the one of the two near the airport, and I'll show them to you now. But they're long gone. This is an aerial photograph of both of the car loading facilities on Liberty Street in the area of the airport. This was the facility on the east side of Liberty Street for Anchor Motor Freight. And on the other side of Liberty Street was this car loading facility that was used by Motor Convoy Incorporated of Atlanta. Anchor Motor Freight was organized in 1934 and in its early years was owned by U.S. Truck Lines Incorporated of Delaware. Anchor had contracts to haul General Motors cars and had terminals at each plant as well as locations such as the one in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. From the Winston-Salem terminal, Anchor hauled General Motors products to dealers in the Carolinas, the Virginias, Eastern Kentucky, Eastern Tennessee, and Northern Georgia. By By 1978, Anchor's Winston-Salem fleet put more than 6.8 million miles on the 115 trucks, delivering 140,000 cars to dealers in 10 states. Each day's trainload of autos must be in transit within 48 hours, or General Motors wants to know why. In the summer of 1985, striking car haulers and Motor Convoy Incorporated filed a consent order that limited the number of picketers at the Walkertown terminal and prohibits them from blocking its entrances or threatening people who cross the picket line. The strike was 2 weeks old, with many local car dealers began sending their own employees to drive cars off the lot. The operator of James Oldsmobile in Charleston, South Carolina, rented vans to bring people to Winston-Salem to drive back 30 cars. He said it was worth the cost to hire people to make the 300-mile trip. Don Pendleton, the general sales manager of Kennedy Oldsmobile in Jacksonville, North Carolina, flew people to Winston-Salem and hired an independent truck driver to haul cars back to the dealership. But Teamster members found out about the plans, surrounded the truck at a nearby motel. The driver left after being escorted by police. Motor Convoy's home terminal was in Atlanta, Georgia, with others at Birmingham, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Florida, Miami, Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, and Winston-Salem. Some of the other car carriers from that era, at one time, Commercial Carriers Incorporated was the largest auto transport company in America. They were purchased by Ryder and sold out to Allied Systems in the late 1990s. Allied Systems was a major car hauler that filed for bankruptcy multiple times, most recently in 2012. Its assets were sold a year later to the Jack Cooper Transport. Hope you've enjoyed this look at car carriers and specifically operations in the local terminal close to me in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Leave a comment, and if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button now while you're thinking about it. And we'll have another video tomorrow. Check out some of these other videos on my channel. Some of them you may not have seen. I've been doing this since August of last year, and with over 165 videos, there may be some that you've missed.